We are here at Spring Garden High School. It is Spring Garden High School, correct? Or is it Spring Garden School? High School. Okay, we're here at Spring Garden High School with none other than the phenom, who I deemed the nickname a few years ago, Ace Austin herself, who has just won the 1A Player of the Year, also state championship, and was named state tournament MVP as well as regional tournament MVP. Ace, with all that being said, how have you been doing personally?
Personally, I've been doing pretty good, I mean, what else can you say? I mean, last year it was different, it wasn't as fun celebrating after school, not when it's day, but, after you accomplish so many things, I mean, it is pretty fun just to be able to enjoy life with that, and, we're starting AAU ball, so, I mean, we've had a few practices, so we're about to get pretty serious in that.
A ton of people all over the state know who you are, obviously. With all due respect, they should, but those who do not know that, it's a little bit more special when you do it here at this location because both of your parents from here, your brothers played here, and your mom and dad coach you now. So not everybody knows that. Talk about how much more that means, not only each win, but obviously the championship, to have all that happen with such a family atmosphere around here.
Yeah, I mean, not many people get to experience that. And, as a family, we all talk about the game and each game. And I think after we had won state, my older brothers, Cooper and Riley, I know Riley, he was excited. He couldn't quit talking about it. And that's just how they've always been. They've loved seeing me be able to grow up, and because, we grew up playing backyard basketball. I think they just love being able to see what I've grown up to be, and same with my parents, and all of my family. And, them two coach me. It is something special. And, my mom won a state championship here too. And my dad, they both won many. So I think, continuing the legacy here, it is an honor to be able to do that. And because my mom, she had a legacy here at Jack State, so I think being able to continue that's a big deal.
That is huge. Now, you won a state championship before, you was in 7th grade. Talk about how different, obviously you were a big piece of that puzzle as well, but it's definitely, you're the major piece of the puzzle. I know you're a very team-oriented team here, obviously, but the role has definitely changed. Talk about the difference in roles.
Yeah, the roles have changed, and my 7th grade year, I was still a big part, not quite as the leader of that group, and because we had Macy, Neely, Bree, Rogers, and they had really big roles. And I think this year, I was more the mature and leader of it. So I think, my 7th grade year, it was like I was still one of the top one, but I was kind of just going by the older ones and what they would say. But, a point guard is a big role in the game. But I think my role, stepping up, I've stepped up more. And my dad has told me that over the years I was going to have to. And I went back and watched film for my 7th grade year. And it's really way different. It was kind of just, I was there. I feel like more this year and last year, still I've stepped up way more. I had more of a purpose to do things and just scoring wise. And
no doubt. Totally different.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm going to rewind the clock, and it makes it special that you came back and won because the last 2 years, which were your 8th and 9th grade year, you lost in Jacksonville to the same team. Both fantastic games. One game, I believe, you was leading at 9 at halftime. The other game, you was leading by 3 with under 10 seconds to go. With under 10 seconds to go. Yeah. And Callie hit 3 or whatever. But I'm going to tell you something Coach Ellison told me. It was crazy. Your 8th grade year, you don't even know this. Kerry Ellis and I was talking about this. I can't remember the girl he had deemed to guard you the whole game. But he said she come in the locker room after the game and took her shoes off, and her feet on both sides were blistered. Her whole feet from guarding you coast to coast. And then and he said that was her goal. She was like, wherever Ace goes, you go. But I say that to say this. That's how much respect you got as an 8th grader for a team that's in one of the greatest dynasty runs ever. When you hear stories like that, what does that mean to you personally? As an 8th grader, you're getting that kind of attention from a team like that.
I mean, yeah, being able to have that respect, it makes me feel well about myself. I mean, it is an honor that people do respect me that way. And I still consider myself as a humble person. I don't like bragging about myself. I'm not one of the people that like to compliment myself, but being able to hear all that from other people, it does make me feel well. And that coaches and even players, I mean, they respect me, and being able to say that stuff, I do think it is.
That's awesome. Yeah, he told me, he's like, man, when you hold her to, I can't remember what you had, like 30 or 28 or I don't know, somewhere around there. He's like, and I say you hold her to that because, I mean, what else are you going to do? I mean, you know how Coach is. He's humble when he talks, but rewind the clock to last year, and I was in that press conference when you guys lost and you had the lead at halftime, and then how the wheels come out. They come out, hit some threes, but the disappointment from there, that had to fuel you in this offseason. I could tell it was fueling you guys, and I think it started the minute that horn sounded. Talk about that.
I mean, I remember after that game, and I had tears in my eyes, but I wasn't upset. I was mad, and then from there on out, I mean, I kind of just got about that game, and I was moving on because that wasn't happening the next year, and it didn't. And going into the regionals this year, I mean, in our team throughout the whole season, we were saying it wasn't happening again. It's been too long. We wasn't losing again, and just after that game, it did. I mean, an experience at state is an experience that everyone would love to enjoy. Mm-hmm. And just after that game, I just remember, I mean, I was just mad, and I was upset for our players. I mean, it was a great group, but I was just mad. I was already ready for next season. So I think that put a fire in our whole team, because this year I think it showed.
Absolutely, I did too. I'm gonna go back to regionals one more time about this season's regionals. You had seen all year, and you could just tell it was kind of like in football terms when Fife moved up to 3A. Everybody knew it is. Don't mean you can deny it. You can, in the newspapers talk about it, but coaches just don't talk about it to the week of. But everybody knew it was going to be you and Skyline, and 99% of the people in the state. And this ain't no disrespect to everybody else. From a media standpoint, thought the winner of that would probably go on win the state. When you knew that matchup clicked over right there, and you're sitting here and you're like, okay, it's happening now. I know you guys were already laser focused, but talk about leading into that game, just you guys' mindset, but then to go out there and execute the way you guys did and perform like you did. What was that like?
Yeah, I'm going to say we executed that game probably the best game in our defensive plan, and just we went over a lot of their offenses, and I do not think that they got a single point off of their offense ran. I think they might have got like 2. All of their other ones, because that was our main focus. We had, some boys. We had John Mark and all the Whiskers against them, and I go to John Mark because he was the king girl, and so he was a good example. But we went into that game. We was really focused, and I think from the beginning of the season, I think we knew. I mean, Skyride was we knew. So I think we was focused from the beginning, and we wanted them, and we wanted them for multiple reasons, and just got into that game. I could tell, shoot around. I mean, you could always tell when you're focused at a shoot around. You could always tell sitting in the locker room if you're focused. And, I mean, I think our coaches knew that we was ready. And, this beginning of the game, it was kind of close, and we just kept pulling away. But I was really proud of our whole team and how focused and how we all came out and played.
Now, after that game, I know your dad probably preached this and your mom preached this. That wasn't our championship game. We got to refocus again. I know, obviously. And then you got a tram on you, and you're at a different location. All that comes into play. But y'all were so hungry, so dedicated, it didn't even seem to phase you. Because when you got to Birmingham, you did not only miss the lick, I thought you went up to another level. Talk about that experience and mindset heading down to Birmingham.
Yeah. Well, he right after that game, he said, "You can celebrate this win for the rest of the night, but you forget about it the next day." And I think that's what we all did because, I mean, we wasn't satisfied. And I think, let's say any team would be after a huge win, but I think there would be a few teams that would get too carried up with that win. But I knew we wasn't. I mean, we talked about that game after the season. We didn't talk about that game no more. We was just focused and ready to be able to play at state. And we was hungry and we wasn't satisfied for what we had already accomplished because what we was being wanting to accomplish was at the end. So,
Was it more of a relief or a celebration when you won? Did you feel more? No, the whole thing. When the horn sounded and you guys had beat Marion County, I think everybody knew that game was, I'm not saying no disrespect to Marion County, but it was over with pretty early, you guys. But when that horn sounded, did you feel a sense of joy or more relief? Like, okay.
I think it was mostly joy. I mean, I remember a few minutes left in the fourth quarter. I mean, hate to say it, but we kind of knew it was over. And I just remember me and Kaylin was just standing there, and we already knew, and it was just, it was just, I don't know how to explain, just a feeling that goes through your body, and it's like real excitement. And I mean,
I've never experienced it.
And I mean,
Never even was close.
it is. It just everything about it. The locker room after the game and the bus rides, going out to eat, and we had spent the night again after to go back and watch.
That's right. I seen you guys.
Yeah, it was just being able to celebrate that because you can celebrate that,
Oh, yeah. Forever.
nothing else to worry about. I mean, and I guess that was the part of the relief. You could celebrate that, not have anything else.
Kind of decompressed.
Yeah.
You mentioned Kaylee. How special was it to see what she'd been through? She's won a state. She's a big part of that. Then she turns around and gets derailed with an injury that had to just crush her mentally and you guys to see it happen to her. But then for her to rehab and then go through what we went through last year and then turn around and win it on her senior year. How awesome was that to see that happening for her?
Yeah, I was very proud of her because I know that year she had tore her ACL. I mean, that was rough, and not many people can come back from an ACL. And the year after, she wasn't full. She was still back a little bit, but I was really proud of how she came back this year. From the beginning of this year, you could tell she was Kayla Kirk. So, I mean, she helped us tremendously this year and in a lot of categories. But I was just proud to see her come back from a tough thing that not many people are able to do.
She has a look in her eyes like when I seen you guys playing New Hope that night, I was like, oh, this is very fun to watch because you could tell she was back to me and what she could do. Now, I'm going to fast forward. I can't keep you here all day, but fast forward to this off season that it's been special, but you continue to work. You go with Brian DeMollick and Shooters Paradise and work with Laney as one of your really good friends. Susan won a ton of other very talented girls around the state. But when you guys went to Montgomery last week and they named you 1A Player of the Year, what was your thoughts, initial thoughts, like right when they named you, what was going through your head?
Really? I was really like, wow, because, I mean, they voted me over the girl that had committed to Auburn, and when they have them, me and her, another girl, it's kind of hard to pick that. You usually, she had the point, she had the rebounds, and being a senior and committed, I mean, for them to be able to pick me over her, that is an honor, because she was a great player, and, being able to represent and just, I mean, because there's many other good players, and, she got it last year and the year before, I'm pretty sure, and for them to pick me over her. It's just a great feeling.
And we pre-mentioned that work never stops. It hasn't even slowed down. The only time basketball work stops for you guys is during volleyball season, correct?
Yes.
That's when y'all laser focus because you always are out there to competing for that. But talk about this off season, what that's going to look like for you personally.
Yeah, personally, I mean, I was in the gym shooting on the gun yesterday. And so I was in the gym shooting before, AAU. When AAU gets busy, you're mostly playing in tournaments, but then we go to training a few nights in the week, and that helps a lot. And then, you got to get your training in because when we're in volleyball season, as a group, it'd be individual just if I wanted to go up there and shoot. But their volleyball season, we do nothing with basketball. So, and it's only if our individual, if we wanted to go shoot, we go shoot. And so when we're in a sport, that's what we focus on.
That's awesome. Well, Ace, I appreciate you sitting in with us. I'm going to do, everybody who does not know, we're going to go to the Player of the Years that's local to our coverage, and obviously the ones that work with us in Shooter's Paradise and a few around the area that we cover real heavy. So you're the first of those. We're going to start 1A and work our way up, boys and girls. Appreciate you, Ace. Good luck to seeing you. We'll be in Coleman. I believe I'm bringing Brick Boy and a couple others down to see you guys this weekend.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.